Peace. Can you hear us? We were having some technical issues. Yeah, with the audio. So we're doing this only because we see that not a lot of people made it to the Zoom. So we're not sure if maybe it's some issues with the Zoom link. Um, this is the puja that we talked about we was gonna do to remove obstacles. So we're kind of streaming from different devices, so we won't be in the chat that much. But this is teaching as well, so we're kind of gonna talk you through what we're doing. Um, right now, this has been benzoin, what we're lighting, and it's a very sweet aroma, very sweet resin. And yes, this welcomes the spirit of Ganesha particularly. And he is equivalent to Papa Legba or Eshu. He is the road opener, the obstacle remover. So yes, so this is why we're doing this, because ultimately you don't want to get locked in to where you're only practicing one form of spirituality. Yeah, let everybody, okay. So yes, so welcome. I am Camson the Oracle, and I am one half of Remnant's Gathering, and we are about to begin. My other half is over there. I couldn't figure out how to get both of us in there, but you know, we here. We here. So we're gonna start off with helping us to feel grounded. Before we begin anything, we want to make sure that we are grounded. The energy with this full moon is real high, and you know, because of the star Algol, which is the star of destruction, you know, we were like, let's not even focus on that, you know, because that's here to serve those who are going through these awakenings and who are committed to this journey. So this is death energy that's available for you to release things. And so we have your names for everyone that purchased. Babe, you'll give me some honey when you come back. Put in my tea. The people who purchased the event, your name is in the petition. So as you can see, we have the benzoin resin going. This is inviting the spirit of Ganesh. If you don't know much about benzoin, it is very, very powerful in attracting spiritual energies that you are working with. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing. And you all just sit back, think about, meditate on the things that you are ready to release, the obstacles. And thank you for participating in this with us, because you're investing in yourself ultimately. And I feel like us not doing this, thank you, us not doing this is one of the reasons why our community stay locked into cycles of suffering and cycles of strife. So we're going to be removing that tonight. We have already given offerings. We have honey. Of course, you always taste the offering first. So we have honey. We also have basmati rice and ghee as the offering. We have a baklava, which is, we love baklavas. So Ganesh does love baklavas too. If you don't know that much about Lord Ganesh, we posted a blog with so much information. That's on the website. I recommend that y'all learn these things, because like I said, we're going to stay locked in these cycles of trauma. So the energy is present for us to release this. I wish y'all could smell the aroma. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. So yes, I am overwhelmed with just the aroma. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Let's start off with the root chakra. For those of you who have inner child trauma, this is really, really good for that. I believe that that's all of us. That is the root of most of our obstacles. And for those of you who may have um, you're noticing you're having mental and emotional imbalances. You distort situations. You're triggered often. You're not able to. I want to let them in. Is there any way we can click admit all where to automatically admit everybody? Okay. People are still coming in, so bear with us. The root chakra ultimately, like, it is literally the root of everything. And so I believe that not only does the trauma that we had from childhood, but I believe that the root chakra, some of the imbalances come from the disconnect, the dysfunction that was passed down generationally. It seems to sit in the root chakra. So yes, benzoin is also really, really good for that. So even if you can't smell this, the spiritual energy that's being released, you are experiencing that energy and that release. So I want you to just release the fact that you're not present with us physically, because your attention is here, which means this is going to benefit you just as if you were here. And I think we have let some people in. I'm gonna start, and maybe you can let some people in, and then after we do the singing bowl to get us grounded, we'll begin with the rest of the puja. And puja is just a word for prayer, petition, meditation, mantras coming together with one intent, right? And lifting those prayers up. Lord Ganesha exists inside of you as well. So this is not worshiping something outside of us, which is not what we teach. So maybe we'll get into the metaphysics of how Lord Ganesha is within us, within the mind, and there are areas of the brain that looks just like an elephant. So again, everything is within you. So this is not giving your power away. This is empowering and gives you access to energies that are pure and that have not been infiltrated by the brainwashing. And this is going to definitely help people who are realizing that I have a lot of trauma that is unprocessed and it's showing up in my behavior, in my emotions, my thoughts, and my life. So we are here to clear those obstacles. As melanated people, sheesh, we've been through so much. And seem like everybody like to minimize what we've been through. So yeah, that's why we went so hard about this. Because yeah, this is our technology anyway, So let's get it. next thing, we're gonna do the mantra. If you do not know the words to this mantra, I posted it on the app Spaces via our website. You can listen. You can deep breathe. You can visualize your obstacles being released from you. Typically, what I like to do when you're using sound for the purpose of healing, these are what we would call seed sounds. And so these sounds um, emit frequency to tune your mind, body, and soul. So this technology is deeply transformative. I recommend that if it resonates for you, and if you know for sure you're dealing with obstacles, you're gonna have to be in action, right? You're gonna have to be energy in motion to move them. And we have a habit of trying things and doing things and then not continuing. So yeah, you want to use this 108 times typically is the repetition. You could do more if you want to. So we're gonna do 108 times. And as we are doing this mantra, I just want you to visualize whatever it is that you're dealing with, that it is being released from you. And as I said, we wrote a whole blog about it, so the mantra is there, all the information is there as well. And the words to this mantra are very, very simple, but it's Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. I'm country, so my pronunciation be a little different. Can't have Memphis, it's just there. So for those of you who are from up north or somewhere else in the world, like pronounce it how it resonates for you. Don't get so fixated on the logical logistics of how you're pronouncing things and using your left mind and being analytical. This is about the heart. Okay, this is about the heart space, opening the heart space. 108 times usually takes about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast you're saying this. We're gonna say this 108 times, and it's gonna take about 8 minutes or so. So yes, if you could prepare yourself, prepare your mind to receive more sound healing, we're gonna do that before we do the petitions as well. All right. Oh, and if you have mala beads and you don't want to be counting in your head, if you don't want to use music or video to do it, typically mala beads have 108 beads on them, and then it keeps you from going into your left brain, having to count, and able to just be within the right brain hemisphere of intuition, heart, creativity, the more feminine side of the brain. And that ultimately is where the healing transformation really gets activated. So that was just another tip to use. All right. I like to do this personally. Um, this mudra is very healing to the body. Make sure y'all can see me. To the mind, body, and soul, and safety. Let's begin.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Gam Ganapate 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 Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye 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 Namaha.
Can you crack a window? I can't breathe. Okay, so we are done with that portion. You can sit it closer to the window now. When you use the element of fire and use the element of smoke, when you're setting the room for the mantras, not only are you clearing out anything that is going to be against the energy current that you are opening, but you are also, the smoke allows the sound vibrations to be released into the spiritual realm, to go into the ethers. So this is like sending it right to the cosmos. So we have the window up now, and we're allowing that smoke to go out the window. And because the full moon it has risen, that amplifies the energy. So these are things that you can do by yourself, and you don't have to have benzoin, resin, frankincense, myrrh, oud, all the extra stuff that I be doing. You can just light an incense and do the mantra. And so I recommend we all, if this resonates, we need to all continue to do this to see the full benefits. We're getting you started, and we're getting you started with a lot of inertia, a lot of power behind you and whatever it is that you are doing. That mantra particularly is for success in our endeavors. And that is anything from business to spiritual to family to your relationship with yourself. And again, clearing the obstacles, right? So now we are going to do the petitions. We have the names of everybody who sent in their information. So whatever you were petitioning for, keep that in mind while we're doing this. And so, yes, I am going to make sure that, okay, they can see from this side. And make sure that you all can see this, okay? So yes, we'll be doing the petitions now. And if you did not send in a petition, and we wanted you all to see the way we do pujas, because we feel like a lot of people, probably more people, would have wanted to participate had you really known what you were getting into. So that's another reason why we provided this event basically free. The 444 was just to enter into the petition, because we want to respect energy. And when people are giving energy for enlightenment and to assist you, when you give energy back, that allows the currents to open up for you. And sometimes things are not open for us because in our poverty mindsets, our trauma, our strife, our obstacles and suffering, we tend to clench on to every form of energy, whether it's currency, love energy, just being open-hearted, and you get real guarded and closed and shut down. And currency is meant to be a current. It is meant to move and to flow. So it's really important that we respect the energy exchange and the law of reciprocity, and that is very, very beneficial for also removing obstacles. So yes, so that is what we're going to be doing now. For those of you here, feel free to give a donation in the super chat. If you want to put a name up, maybe there's a loved one or someone that is sick, or maybe you had a death in the family or divorce. I mean, whatever, any obstacle you can think of, in the super chat. Even though you all didn't purchase the event, you are more than welcome to give a donation, and you will be automatically included in the ceremony because you are present. Because ultimately, our attention is the gateway to everything that's within us. So just wanted to say that so y'all don't feel left like you missed out. Okay, so it's completely up to you. Think about what it is that you are releasing in the obstacle, and then we're going to get started. For privacy purposes, we're not going to say the names out loud. Ernest will just say the names below his breath, or he can call out the initials. Um, so, yes, that's how we're going to do that. And yes, we're going to begin.
JM. JF. DT. KJ. KJ. EH. Or BM. WI. PP. SN. LO. KJ. EH3. GR. LJ. TM. LB.
All right. So your petitions have been done. As you can see, um, this is so necessary right now that we take it to the next level. We have to change the way that we are living and interacting with spirit. And when I was putting this together, I was just like, oh goodness, here I go again, because my higher self is just like, this is what you need to do. Um, and the obstacles, I can feel the energy of the collective. And for a lot of us, we have become painfully aware of what spiritual awakening really means. And so many people have made it to seem like um, made it to seem like it's beautiful and it's hopping through lilies and flowers and roses, but it's not. It is digging up ancient ruins, revisiting the reasons why you are the way you are, and changing the narrative. So, this is just one of many ways to do this, but during the full moon, during pujas, we also told you all tips in the blog what you can do to activate removing these obstacles. And so these are things that, to me, as a melanated community, the neuromelanated culture, um, to me, the shift, the paradigm shift doesn't happen until we tap into this ancient spiritual healing. So a lot of us have been going through the spiritual awakening, um, but we haven't been filling in the void with spiritual practices that's gonna support us. A lot of us doing the same stuff. So even if you are meditating every day, drinking plenty of water, being conscious and mindful about the way you live, what you eat, what colors you wear. Like if you're living intentionally, like that's major. That is a major, major foundation. But if you are doing shadow work, and if you are here, you obviously are, right? To even be courageous enough and have enough faith in yourself and in the divine appointments that you manifest. You all was like, no, like soon as we posted, y'all was already sending it. I was just like, yo, I didn't think, I wasn't expecting this many people. And then that let me know that we all have become painfully aware of the areas that need to be addressed. And praying, the things that we learn in religion, like those things, it was so misconstrued and so watered down that it wasn't supporting us merging with our higher selves. So a lot of us, we are experiencing the 3D trauma, and then we're having these 5D moments throughout the day where synchronicity and spirit speaks to you and connects with you, and you're having dreams, just spirit animals showing up. It's just so much that's happening to support you. But the thing that really, really messes us up is we do not discipline ourselves to do what we need to do to support us. And so if you have been feeling off lately and feeling like something was missing, most likely it's you need more spiritual support, and you step outside of your comfort zone. That's what this was for me once again. Doing this just for us as a family is one thing, but then when we invite everybody else to be a part of it, that's a whole other situation. And so I knew that this was just the next level for me, that it was time for me to share what I'm doing in the background. The reason why y'all see us and y'all like, what are y'all doing? We can tell y'all evolving and growing, and like these are the things that we're doing. So, we literally are inviting you into our spiritual space, our practices, so that you are inspired, and so that because a lot of us lack inspiration, and so much soul harvesting going on, and we're having to recapitulate. Recapitulation is the process of going back to the trauma, rewriting the narrative, discovering triggers, finding new ways to respond to those triggers, not allowing ourselves to see things through a filter of our trauma and being cognitive distorted, where you can't even have conversations and allow the conversations to be just what it is. You end up adding meaning to the conversation that's based on your trauma. So, so this, using this mantra, using the things that we have shown you here, all of these things are ways that you can feel in that space. Because when you're doing shadow work, you're literally like digging out, like it's like
Gotcha.
archaeology. Yeah. And so you gotta fill that space in with something. So if you have been feeling like you're just not in tune and out of balance, it's because it's time for you to fill the spaces in, where maybe prayer or going to church, whatever you used to do, or it could have just been clubbing and maybe you just distracted yourself. I mean, some people use spiritual bypass and coping mechanisms as their spiritual way to release tension. And so, yes, we are being called to have a higher level of responsibility with our spiritual practices. Now, again, we don't want to make this religious. We don't want to make this be the kind of thing where you're just forcing yourself to do stuff, but you're really not feeling a connection to what you're doing. But what I'm saying is being open minded and allowing intuition to just move through you and flow through you and following that. That's the most powerful magic that you could ever have. It's in you. It is you. And everything in this matrix right now is working against us to feel like we don't have power. Everything that we see in the headlines and even happening in your own hometown or your country, like it makes you have these glimpses of powerlessness. And you're just like, yo, look at how everything is falling apart. We're running out of food. A lot of us hadn't even really dealt with and confronted the fact that we are in a famine. We are in a famine, and the food that we do have left that has life in it is now being modified genetically on a whole new level. The water is being purified with nanoparticles, right? Like that's a lot. It is a lot going on. So don't beat yourself up when you have moments, days, maybe even weeks and months, and you're in a dark night of the soul. Maybe you are energetically sensitive to what's happening in the world. So as you're dealing with your personal trauma, as you're dealing with your generational trauma, and then you also have the collective unconscious where this shadow is being purged. At this point, the veil is completely down. It's not coming down, it is down. And the more we become in tune with spirit, the more we become aware of the necessity, how essential it is for us to live this life. So this is not about religious rituals that will not change anything. And I know a lot of us, because of what we've experienced in religion, you sometimes have multiple emotions about anything on a spiritual journey, and you be feeling it, but then you be like, I'm not quite sure. I'm having doubts. I'm having, so whatever that is. Again, that is the work that we are here to do and here to clear. So I just want to challenge you to set some goals for yourself. If you're going to keep this going, we will share the link to this specific mantra. If you want to keep this going, if you're in a situation where maybe you live with other people and they're uncomfortable, find some time to yourself to be able to do this. At least just spend 8 to 10 minutes a day. That's really all that you need. And this will help you to be able to deal with everything that is happening. And I know that it can get overwhelming, and I know that it's a lot, but I want to remind y'all the power of love and the power of compassion, the power of empathy, the power of trusting your heart space, where your walls don't have to be up all the time. You don't have to feel like you're always having to guard yourself. You have support. Lord Ganesha, if you just look at the image, our subconscious mind is programmed by images, symbols, and numbers and repetition. So by just looking at the image, what does the image speak to you? And so we posted information on what the symbolism is behind Lord Ganesha. And I've been wanting to work with Lord Ganesha for at least 2 years, and but the space had not opened for me to do so. I wait till when I'm called to do certain things, and you feel it and you know. And so when I found out about the alignment, which we talked about in the last live, I was just like, this whole energy that's set up right here is for people who have been the black sheep and outcasted and not accepted and don't really fit in, and maybe you're having a hard time being on earth as a star seed. Like this setup, yes, it's a lot of darkness, it's a lot of death. It seems very negative, but death is simply a part of the cycle of life. That's it. And then we detach. The law of detachment. You kind of have to detach yourself from the negative, the negative thought forms that's being created by everything that's happened. To pull yourself away from that. And I know it's a lot going on in the city of Memphis right now, and we are intentionally putting our attention into solutions. So we could do decodings all day long and talking about that, and it's popular. But if you notice, the numbers very rarely reflect. So just the fact that you are viewing this just shows that you are not a part of the herd, you know, and you are here to pave your own path. And as you are doing that, you are altering the energy on the planet. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal. And as I was getting ready to do this, I can't even express to you how many issues and things was popping up and how much stuff was going on in the background. I was just like, no, 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 no. We doing this. We doing this. I had the worst migraine ever. And I just had to lay in the dark for like hours and meditate. But when you start working with these seed mantras, it alters your perception of whatever is happening. And I knew that was confirmation as to how transformative this is really gonna be. So I be expecting to get phone calls that you didn't expect. Be expecting to get opportunities. Be the have you want to have the expectation in your heart, but don't be attached to the outcome. That way you don't put yourself in a cycle of being hopeful and just knowing that things is gonna work out, and then when something don't go the way that you thought it should, you sink back into the old 3D paradigm of whoever you were. So we shared the false self funeral on Patreon. Hopefully y'all got to do that. If you didn't, like, that right there is necessary to actually let go, release, and bury and banish the parts of the old you that you know is not serving you and you do not intend to take with you further in your journey. So if you haven't done that, that's available on Patreon. You can go and do that. But again, pay attention to what your attention is being drawn to, and your ear gates, your eyes, they are all gateways. And so you want to guard that, because there's a lot of intentions out here. I'm just not feeling a lot of stuff. I'm seeing a lot of soulless activity, a lot of people that lack that real soul energy. Like, I'm seeing so much of it. It's like clone consciousness. It's not even about whether or not your physical body has been cloned. It's the clone consciousness, where people like think in this herd, and it's almost like anybody who thinks something different, you get attacked, right? And you people want to cancel you or say that you washed up, and pick on, like, it's a lot of that going on. And so because of the placement of Mars, we talked about that. That's all on the website as well in the blog section. People are just going to war with each other, and it's very unconscious. And me and Ernest has even had it happen between us. So you want to be really aware of when that archonic energy is starting to attach itself to you and cause you to go to war. And ultimately, what we are doing is reclaiming our soul. And we are calling back the fragments, the remnants of us, regathering to become whole. So, yes, I just wanted to share that. And of course, I'm pass it to my divine counterpart, because I know some people don't understand why I talk more than he do. But he talk when he need to. I talk all the time. So yeah, it's not a power struggle going on
No, at all,
with
at
us.
all, at all. Everything is in order. Everything is divinely ordered, and we give gratitude. Um,
Come this way a little bit.
we give gratitude for
Yeah.
each of you that is also participating, and the petition that has went forward for us to release blockages and limitations and
Yeah.
anything that is obstructing us to be more aligned with our higher selves is done. And so, as the oracle has spoken and said, for us to continue this work is what is necessary. We have to continue to work. We have to continue to dig in as hard as possible. As much that is going to be resistant to us going deeper, we have to fight that much more. So I
Absolutely.
think everything has been said and done, and so we definitely again give gratitude.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me see here. Was it anything we need to address? Okay, it's people in here. I say to you, welcome.
Let's see, any questions in the chat over here?
Let's see.
Thanks. Is there a possible? Yes. Yes,
Happy full
Latasha.
moon. Yes, showstopper. Yes. Oh, peace to you. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Absolutely. To each and every one of you here, yes.
Mhm.
May these blessings that I like to say,
Right.
be received tonight. It was buffering. Hopefully that cleared up. Yes. Unfortunately, buffering, no picture is showing. Very disappointed. I truly think that YouTube has something to do with this. Yeah, Eve. Like I said, we had a lot of challenges getting on here, but one of the things about when you do stuff like this, you are going against the current, you know. So yes, it's going to be some issues, but hopefully you all can at least hear us if you cannot see us. Yes, Empress, don't get locked into one thing. Magical indigo, people picking on you. So yes, so that again, that's that's that Mars war consciousness energy, where people are people are bullying each other, but it's out of a place of pain. It's out of a place of their own pain, you know. And you know, you want to remind yourself of that and remember that, because sometimes it can get overwhelming. And so just remind yourself of that. We in a whole body snatching you know, type of
Mm-hmm.
energy. And so everybody is not going to be ascending. You know, everybody is not going to a high level of consciousness. So having compassion for the people who do that, and just knowing it's out of a space of their own disconnect from their sense of self, because ultimately that's what's going on here. But I want you all to be very intentional. And when you go out tomorrow, whatever's going on with you, like, just keep in mind who you are, and just don't let what other people are doing affect you in a way where you feel like, again, you want to be a thermostat and not a thermometer. It takes practice to do that, but it can be done. You can master yourself and master your emotions, where you do not give energy to anything unless you want to. You know, and that ultimately spiritual enslavement ended in 2019. especially for melanated people, based on the 400-year prophecy from the point of slavery to now. And so now that that spiritual enslavement has ended, this is why we're doing things like this now. This is why we're feeling drawn to other cultures and to study different spiritual practices, because we are finally being liberated from the spiritual concentration camps. So your oversoul, your higher self, that energy that exists outside of this, yes, this is the calling and this is the work that must be done. And the more non-judgmental you become towards yourself, and this is every day, each and every moment, every conversation, every thought, you're just releasing your judgment on it. The more you do that, it'll get a lot easier to deal with people who are in that frequency, and you'll just be able to do your thing and not even be worried about it, and just acknowledge that they're hurting. They're hurting. Hurt people hurt people. And so maybe if you're dealing with people in your life and your family, maybe a good way to respond is give the total opposite of what they probably are gaslighting you to do. And it's unconscious. We don't know when we gaslighting each other most of the time, especially if you have not been practicing living mindfully. And so sometimes if you're in a relationship like we are, your divine counterpart would be like, okay, like, no, what you're saying has an intent behind it to get me in a conversation with you that's going to cause divisiveness. And just hit the pause on it and be like, we're not going to go to war with each other. Like it's not necessary right now. So pick and choose your battles.
And never necessary.
Sometimes it is.
To war with each other?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do need to face and confront things.
Oh,
yeah. So not really warring, but you will have conflict that needs to be addressed and confronted. But be mindful and intentional. And when people do that, like, you don't want to undo what you've done tonight. Okay, so keep that in mind too. And like, this is your baby. This is your spiritual baby. This is the energy that you have called into your life for the purpose of transmutation and transformation. So keep that in mind. Like, what is it that you have to lose? So you might walk away from some arguments. You might walk away from a fight. You might walk away from somebody that's gaslighting you. But just remember what your purpose is, who you are. Know that you are valuable. You are priceless. Ultimately, like, you are everything that you ever needed. And so you don't have to give people the reaction that their unconscious self is looking for in their own pain. And you can do the opposite, and you can say, that was really hurtful, an example, that was really hurtful, but I am liberated to choose how I respond, even if something hurts me. And I'm not going to slash out at you right now. And by doing that, I'm holding on to my power and sense of self, and hopefully I'll become an example for you one day. And just hold that energy. Hold that energy. And you will find yourself being more and more unfuckwittable as you practice this. And that's the goal. The goal is not to be numb, okay? But the goal is to be able to master your emotions. So for a lot of us, our emotions are just now coming back. We're just now coming online, And that's why it feels overwhelming sometimes, because a lot of us have not allowed ourselves to feel. A lot of us have not allowed ourselves. This is why we have so many intimacy issues with ourselves and those that we love, and so today I went back and looked at some of the things that was going on with slavery. And I don't even know why, but like each continent, I was looking at all the different slave trades that have occurred. And I was like, planet Earth is hell. This is hell. We're already here. But what are you going to do with that? Why are you here, and what are you going to do? So you either will allow yourself to perpetuate the 3D hell frequency, or you'll rise above it and be like, no, I'm not doing that. So I want you to hold on to your sense of self that you are developing, and don't allow the unconscious people, the people who lack the connection to their own soul, to be the ones who control you.
That's right.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're going to get off here. We still have our full moon stuff to do. Hopefully, y'all will be doing some full moon things tonight. If you don't do anything else, taking spiritual baths and spiritual showers. Ladies, if you do the mantra, it's really good practice to cover your head, which is your glory, of course, for a lot of reasons. But you know, you want to protect your crown. So I would recommend that. And just do what resonates. I'm just going to be communicating with my crystals and myself, and maybe aligning my body and making sure my chakras, you know, is everything is aligned. Meditating. This is a really, really good night. So you keep this vibe, keep this energy going. If it resonates with you, to do that as long as you can. We've been eating very, very lightly, not eating that much, because you want to show your devotion, and that I do have control over myself, and I don't have to eat anything right now. I could just drink some water. I'm going to do this. That's another thing. So go and read the blog. We put all of the tips in there from Vedic astrology experts, as to how to align with this energy. And also Agni. Agni is another energy that's available, and Agni represents the purification, the fire element. So that's why we wanted to make sure we included plenty of fire right now. So yeah, fire can be a weapon, or it can be a process of purification and healing. So you know, it's up to you what you do with it. Light a candle, burn some incense, keep it simple. If you don't have none of that, or in a situation where you can't do none of that, if you don't do nothing else, do the mantra, you know, and just relax your body and open your heart to receive all of this beautiful, beautiful energy we have created together in this sacred space. Okay? No more being inferior. Let's stop that. Let's stop feeling inferior. Let's stop allowing even what is perceived to be mistakes and failure to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of how inferior we really are. Like, let's disconnect from that, and it's time to walk into your I divinity, to step into your goddess godhood. Yeah, and just kill it. Kill it. That's what we came to do. We came to kill it. Right? We are the ancient gods who are awakening. So we don't have to feel inferior to anybody or anything. So we thank you all. We're not going to make announcements or anything unless you need to.
Well, I was just going to say, for anyone who wants to stay connected and know when we do have events like this, we usually always post them on all of the social media accounts that we have, as well as if you have Android or iPhone, download Spaces app.
Yeah.
And then find us on this Spaces app, and you will always be informed as to what we got going on.
Yeah. That way, because you see, we have the issues that we have. Like I said, when people really tapping into some energy that's go heal and transform, you're gonna have some stuff pop up that's gonna be trying to, you know, get you derailed.
Right.
But yeah, we just keep going. We adapt, right? Lord Ganesha is all about adaptation. Adaptation. Okay? So yes, it's getting more chaotic. It's gonna be more dark. It's gonna be more death. But we will adapt. We are adapting. We are more than survivors. We are thrivers. Okay? So yes, just wanted to share some inspiration before we get off of here. Enjoy this full moon energy. Again, be careful where you give your attention to, because our attention creates soul contracts. And so make sure that you're giving your attention, your energy, your currency, an extension of you to, to fields that will reap harvest that you will be proud of. All right, y'all. So y'all already know what it is. Like, we ain't trying, like I said, we ain't religious. So we do what we do, but we keep it real and authentic, you know. So yes, we appreciate y'all. And yes, if you would like to say it with us, if you know what's coming, if you're new and you don't, this be your first time, we do this, and it's just a very intimate way of connecting with that love frequency energy and opening our perception to see things in a higher dimensional way. And that's why we always end our shows like this. So give Ernest a minute. And next time, you know, y'all, when you go to the website, sign up for the event, and that way we can do your petitions too if you want it, if you interested in that. So yeah, we don't do these religiously. We just do it when we're inspired to. And typically, I get like 10 or 15 synchronicities, and I'm like, okay, yep, we're supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So May, your
Your
third
third eye
eye
has
has just
just
been
been
kissed.
kissed.
Peace.
Peace.